We did it. Up 1563.07 on the day. Got my four-figure day. Um, Man, did that feel good. Um, Felt really, really good. Um, I don't. Something clicked, and everything worked. I stuck to a plan, and was extremely hyper focused, and it just worked. Everything worked. $1,563.07 on the day. Rock solid day. Rock solid day. Um, Mentally, I don't feel cocky in the sense that I'm like a big swinging dick because I just hit a grand slam. But I am very confident in the sense that I feel comfortable maintaining size in positions that I am taking. But I feel significantly more comfortable as well um, in my actual position in terms of entry and sizing initially with those entries, and recognizing, okay, I'm going to wait until price gets to this level, or if I'm looking to get in, I'm going to make sure that I'm sizing appropriately in this position at this price based off of what my stop loss um, is. So, unbelievably rock solid day. Could not be happier with today's performance. Obviously missed some range and some opportunities, but you know, um, you're not going to catch everyone. So I am just, I'm, I'm just, I'm so happy with today's performance. Really, really, really happy. So this was CRML. We'll start with CRML. This was something that I had on my radar for today. Daily, rock solid daily. Nice little base here with this tail end push, and we got that vol spike here with a nice 5-time multiple, and then today was a 15, almost 16-time multiple. I was looking for the tap of that 281, I believe. Yeah, 281, and we got it, and then some. I would not be surprised if this tries to push to that 480 level tomorrow. This base was gorgeous, and I just started. I wanted to get a 2 to 2,500 share position, 2,000 to 2,500 share position, but once it started to run away, I didn't feel comfortable adding in anymore. Although in hindsight, I would have been. I mean, it just took off. Obviously, in hindsight, would have been okay, but should have kept it up on my radar after it had pulled back slightly here. But just what an unbelievable move. So I started scaling in it here at 250, held 250 here, pulled back to 249 for that final shakeout right there, and then just lift off. Scaled half at 260, and then maintained the remaining position here through this pullback to the 9 on the 1 minute. On the 5 minute, it didn't tap it until up here, but as it kind of hesitated here, even though volume died off on that candle, at that point I was up. I was green so much on the day that I was like, I don't want to give back anything. I want to make sure that I am holding on to every penny that I've earned today. So I just took the remaining off the table there. Obviously, it would have been pertinent for me to maintain the position, especially considering, because I was looking at the 30 minute. 30-minute was rock solid. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful base here, contraction, price contraction, back to the 9 SMA, bounce right off, and then just explosive move, all the way up to 358. So obviously in hindsight should have held and even added more, especially in here in this area, or right here in this candle right here, but I didn't, and it's a learning lesson. So that was Carmel. DGXX, I am swinging this. I think what I'm gonna do is sell some there. This is just a rock solid daily. Rock solid daily. Looks like it wants to take out that 52-week high at 377. 4 hour, nice push, first leg, pull back, right back to the 20, and then just explosive push right off. Same with right here, with the 30-minute, nice curl back through the 50, and then this nice little ascending triangle that's getting built here. I was adding a little late. I got in at end of day. I did not see this until end of day. So I started getting in for a potential push on the 30-minute off of the 9 SMA here into the close. But I also recognize this is a really nice swing opportunity, so I'm going to maintain what I have here into tomorrow, and I expect this to go to 3 plus. I mean, ideally a parabolic push to 377 would be fantastic. We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath on something like that, but it's in the energy space. Thesis is there, the momentum is there, the volume is there, so we'll see what this has in store tomorrow. Really, really happy with this entry up here. I was trying to get below, I was trying to get sub 280, but I mean, I had to get sub 280 until here on this break, but I also wanted to make sure that there was confirmation here. The 5 minute was just sketching me out a little bit with the 9 and the 20 converging bearishly with the 50, but once we got this curl right here, we started to get the curl right here, and the 20 was maintaining. It was starting to flatten and then even curl up here above the 50. I started to add in here, took my first position, and I started to add more through here. So really happy with those entries, and we'll see what tomorrow has in store. I'm going to stick with that position there, and hopefully this can push higher. FTech. This was a surprisingly rock solid play today. I was not expecting this much buying pressure out of this today. This was one that I had on my swing scan, and I wish that I swung some. I made a ton of money on a swing through here, and I just made more today. This was just a really nice soak through the 9 SMA there, back down to this base high at 180, 182, 180. Yeah, 180. Soaked right off of 180, and then today it just opened up right at the open. So I saw that, I recognized this curl in the 30-minute and the convergence through the 9, through the 20 there, and I just started to add in here. And same with the 4 hour. The 4 hour just held the 50 really, really nicely, and then it opened below the 9, but it gapped up through this pre-market price or candle or whatever you want to call that. Not really a candle. So I just started to load the boat. I was trying to get, I ideally I wanted to get as low as I could, but it was also really thin, and I didn't feel comfortable just throwing 2,500 shares at this thing right from the start. So I started adding really slow 500 share tranches all the way through. And then once this started to curl up past 2, I thought to myself, damn, like I looked at my P&L on the day on this ticker and I thought, oh my, I was not expecting to be up this high. So I just started to scale out. And then once it kind of, it on the 1 minute here, the 9 just, it looked like it was going to curl down. And we were starting to get some price exhaustion up here. I scaled down to the last 500 shares. A part of me was thinking, man, you should just hold these. You know, if you start to pull back and you see a pullback back down to 2, it is what it is. You know, it's 8 cents, it's $40. You're up $3.50 on this thing. Just let it ride. But then another part of me thought that, you know, we were going to get a pullback in general. We didn't even get a pullback. I thought we were going to get a pullback in general, potentially down to VWAP, you know, get a curl down to VWAP, bounce off of VWAP, and then the push back through. But we didn't even get that. And then volume came in crazy right here. Nice 30,000 share buyer. And this thing looks like, I mean, I made a new 52-week high today at the close. It looks like it's going to just push even higher, and then in after hours it made an even higher 52-week high. So yeah, this is definitely something that I'm going to have on my radar tomorrow, to try and get back involved in. Really, really nice. Was not expecting that at all. But that also gets back to, you know, sizing up and feeling more comfortable sizing up, you know. The fact that I mean, 2,500 shares, $5,000 worth, before was, you know, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking that kind of size. It was taking 1,000 shares on, you know, on a ticker like this. I would only take 500 shares. Every once in a while, if I felt really comfortable, I'd take 1,000. But you know, I wasn't willing to take a position more than $1,000 to $1,500. Now I feel comfortable taking almost $10,000 positions, and it's paying off. So I just need to make sure that, you know, I'm not being stupid, because I still am red on the month. You know, I got to be careful. These 2 days here and that day there really killed me, but you know, today was a nice green day. Had a nice green day there, and there. So I just got to make sure that these next 2 weeks, I'm maintaining precision like this and P&L and performance like this, because man, this felt really, really good. I am really, really happy with today's performance. Really, really, really happy with today's performance. So that was FTech. KLTO. This was one that I flubbed a bit. This was a daily that I had on watch that I thought we were going to get a bigger push. On the 4 hour, we had this really nice dragonfly doji, and then the push up higher, and I thought we were going to get a better curl with a little bit more follow through. I was a little late to it. I was going to take it in pre-market, but I hesitated, and man, this was just a crazy push. I thought we were going to get potentially a red to green move here, so I took 1,000 shares for the VWAP reclaim here, and I thought we were going to get the curl through, but unfortunately it faded. And as soon as it started to fade and broke down below this prior candle low, I immediately cut it. So once it broke below 181, I cut it. Wasn't willing to hold it and watch it flush, which it ultimately did. Faded basically the rest of the day. Yeah. So that was KLTO. I mean, the real entry was in here, obviously, and I really, man, I screwed up on that one, because I was watching it in here, and I just thought to myself, you know what? I don't know. I like it. I like this dragonfly doji, but I wanted to watch to see how the 9 a.m. candle opened, and for some reason I took my eye off of it. And next I saw it was up at 172, 173, and I thought to myself, man, this is extended already. I don't think I'm gonna take a stab at it here. I'll wait for a pullback, and it never pulled back. It just took off. NPWR. This one has just, I can't figure this one out. Cannot figure this one out. I thought we were going to get the curl through here. We gapped up above on this Dragonfly Doji, above the 9 SMA and above the body of yesterday's candle or Friday's candle. Thought we were going to get the push higher, but man, it faded. 30-minute looked rock solid. We got the curl, the SMAs, convergence is through. We had this really nice hammer opening range candle, and then a small lighter volume pullback. I started adding as it was kind of holding the 9 SMA here. It obviously pulled back, and then here it had this nice green candle even though it was on lighter volume, and then we got the breakout above that 260 level. So I thought we were going to go, but this thing just took a dump. I was buying in pre-market, and then I added on the pullback here, which was actually a nice add in hindsight. Added again for the break of 261, and as soon as I added here, I thought to myself, man, you should have just waited for 260 break, or 261 break, excuse me, because it's a bit extended here. Probably going to see a slight pullback, potentially back down to VWAP, which we ultimately got, but yeah, just really, really frustrating. Ended up watching this break down below VWAP for a shakeout. I cut it, and then it pushed higher. I bought at the break of high of day with size, and then this flushed, and I cut it. So a decent loss, 130, 137 on the day on this one. A part of me wants to take this off of my watch list entirely, but I don't think I'm willing to do that. It still has daily structure, but man, this thing is frustrating. This thing is really, really frustrating. I can't figure it out. I cannot figure it out for the life of me. ONCY, this is one that I wish I just stuck with. It was just extremely thin, and I didn't want to get caught where this ended up flushing, but this daily, this is going to go. This might go to $1. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to $1. Tomorrow it's going to run. So really, really nice push, consolidation with all of these bottoming tails, and this thing is just going to push straight through to 79, and I think it could go even higher. So we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, I bought at the break of 62. I was buying a little, or before that, I was taking position, and then I added full size at the break of 62 here. Started to break up, and then as this kind of just started to feel weak and it hadn't really just taken off like I wanted it to, I just started to cut. Wanted this to break through 63, and then as soon as I cut it, 2 minutes later it perked through with volume, and then it held above that level. 4 hour just looks great. 30-minute, super, super clean, just a steady grind. I mean, this thing is rock solid. So, fat. This was a tiny loss as well. This one was pretty annoying. I bought this in pre-market, looking for this to push, but this thing is just shorted to oblivion. I think the short float is 30%, 29-30%, crazy. I would have thought that this would have caught some buying pressure and pushed this through, especially how it's been holding over 10. Yeah, it hasn't caught it yet. So, and if we look at what day is this, 6/6. Yeah, buyers have control of this. The point of control is down here at 956, and we've held above that thus far. So, I mean, shorts are trying to take control of this, pull this back down, but if this breaks back through 11 and holds above that, and then 11:30, I mean, shorts should start to capitulate, but we'll see. I bought 100 shares thinking I'm buying smaller size up in here in pre-market, but 1090 just couldn't break. The 30-minute looked pretty decent, and the 4 hours rock solid. I mean, you had this grind along the 9 SMA here, and then the hold basically right here, sub 1090. I thought we were going to break that 1090 level, but I got a little antsy and got in a little early, and it just didn't have the juice to break it. So, the 30-minute had the nice convergence bullishly there with the 20 and the 9, but unfortunately it just fell off a cliff, so that was annoying. SDOT, this was another surprisingly really good runner for me. Rock solid daily, another one that I'm going to be watching. This had this wedge that I was watching right here, and it broke in it broke in pre-market, pulled back, and then had the push at the open. So I was getting involved a little late, but still just a really rock solid trade on this. I took this at the one, after it broke 180, I got a really nice fill. I slapped 181 and it ended up giving me a 178 fill. It pushed up, then pulled back, and I didn't feel comfortable holding this after it flushed here, so I cut it. Then it pushed higher and it caught this really nice buyer here, and pulled back and held above the 180 level throughout this entire little consolidation here. So I thought to myself, all right, you know what? This is holding really nicely, and if we look at the 5-minute, I've been telling myself, you got to trust the process, and this is holding above the 5-minute 9, and it's just pulling right back, grinding right along it. So just start accumulating. So that's what I did. I started buying 500 share tranches until I got up to I think 5,000 shares. 5,000, 1,000, 2, 3, 5, yeah. And then this just started to launch. Cut 2,000 up here, and then another 500, 500, and then was looking for the 2 break, so I added another 500 here, cut 1,500 after it kind of broke down here, and I thought we were going to fade. It then broke up, and I added the 1,500 back at 199, at 2, excuse me. It pushed up and then flushed. I cut it, and then I cut all. It pulled back, and then I added back on this little bull flag here, and then cut it for a small win through there. Obviously, I was up. I could have been up a lot more if I would have just held the initial position through this pullback here, but or I guess here. If I would have just held that 1,500 shares and then scaled out through here and then even through here and didn't cut it all entirely here, but I'm not mad at this here. I'm not mad at that cut at this flush. It felt weak, and it hit a higher high, but it was on significantly less volume. I am not mad at this sell here at all, especially considering this higher high had lesser volume relative to the prior higher highs, and the breakouts to new high of days, and then that there. So 4 hours still looks like it wants continuation. So definitely something I'll be watching tomorrow, especially with this very bullish convergence of the 9 through the 200, and the 20 looks like it's about to tomorrow. So the 30-minute has a bearish convergence here, but it looks like it's just going to grind along 190 and then curl back through 2. So definitely keeping this on the radar tomorrow. And then last last but not least, my biggest winner of the day, which I wish I was still holding some, is UAVS. Traded this like crazy today, but unbelievable daily chart. This thing is going to go. Was a little nervous that it was a Head and Shoulders, but once it broke, I had a lot of conviction, and the 30-minute is just absolutely gorgeous. Just grinding along the 9 SMA here. Just unbelievable chart. So really upset that I didn't buy any into here into the close. Actually, did I get bottom ticked? Almost got bottom ticked. Half a penny. That's great. Yeah, that's frustrating. So I was accumulating some shares in pre-market, and the thesis was okay, as long as this holds above 127. I was getting a little nervous because I bought 1,000 shares up here at 135, and I was down, 50, 60, 70 bucks down here. And I was, especially after last week's performance with these big red days, I didn't want to get caught where, first thing right out the gate, I'm down, 200 bucks, which I was down like 150. But I thought to myself, you know what, I always end up cutting these positions way too early, and I don't let them set up. So I'm going to let them set up, because every time I cut them right at the open, if something doesn't immediately go my way, I cut it at the lows and it ends up reversing, and it does exactly what I thought it would do. It just does it right after. It shakes me out. It shakes me out as a weak hand. So I thought to myself, okay, as long as this holds this 127 level, I'm going to maintain the position. So I added another 500 shares here as we got this soaker candle after a massive sell-off candle here. big range, big volume, and then we got this really nice hammer. So I thought to myself, all right, we broke above that candle high and we're making our way back to the 9 SMA. I'm just going to add 500 shares knowing that I'm risking 127. It pushed up, it gapped up over the 9 SMA, pushed up a little bit, and then pulled back right back down to low of day. And I thought to myself, all right, we've held that on one candle, two candles, and now third candle gaps up back above the 9 SMA at 130. I'm just going to slap 500 shares, another 500 shares, because I am bullish, and it feels like 128 is going to be the low, and every time it taps 128, sub 130, this just gets absorbed. So I'm going to add. So now I have a 2,000 share position. It breaks, and it just starts climbing. And I'm thinking in here, okay, we break VWAP here. Do I want to add, or do I want to wait until this breaks above the open at 134, just 1 penny higher? It breaks through that and just launches, and I'm at that point I'm like, okay, well, it's a little extended. Now I feel like I have to wait for it to break pre-market high. So it breaks through pre-market high. I slap 2,500 shares, and I get filled really high. I got a really crappy fill there. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to just start scaling out because I'm in for 5,000 shares. And I mean, I had a really nice average because I was scaling in so low, but I did not like how I didn't like my fill up here at 143. So this then flushed up. I sold a portion at 147, so I got a really, really nice fill up there at 1,000 shares. It pulled back, and then I added that 1,000 shares back at 143. Started chopping around in here, and I had 144 mapped out, and then it broke up here, but then immediately flushed. And once it flushed, I was thinking to myself, man, I just gave back about 500. I was up $500 up here, and then here I'm up $300, and now I'm down. I'm actually red, break even or slightly red, like, because I had a 4,000 share position still. No, 5,000 share position, excuse me. I thought to myself, man, am I really going to just watch? Is this what's going to happen to me? I'm going to hold this, and this is just going to reverse on me, and I'm going to be down from being up 500 bucks. I'm going to be down now 30 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever it was. Thought to myself, no, you know what? I'm gonna see if this can hold VWAP here. So I added 139 right here. It broke down, and then this is where I went red slightly, and it immediately pushed back up. And the reason why I held through that is because, one, this was significantly lower volume in terms of the selling pressure on these two candles, and two, it looked as though, back to the book that I just read on ICT, it was just coming back to retest this order block right in here. This order block, which is exactly what it did. It retested this order block right here, this candle, absorbed it, and then chopped, retested VWAP, and then just launched. So at this point, I am euphoric, and I am starting to scale through here just sub 150 because 150 felt really heavy. Once it broke 150 on this candle with some decent volume on both of these candles, I thought, all right, I don't really like this hanging man candle, this really ugly doji, but it broke 150 with volume, and I think this has really, really good strength, especially with the 30-minute. You just got this really nice green candle, small selling, really nice green candle. Thought we were going to get continuation. It just took a little longer in the day to get it. So I started adding through. Then it broke down here, and I thought, okay, we got this convergence down. I don't want to get caught where, I'm up $500-600 up in here to now I'm up $400. I don't want to get caught where I'm down $200 and I get back all these gains. So I just cut it, and I was up 400 bucks. So I was really happy with that. But I maintained this chart on my radar, and I wanted to make sure that I did not miss the next leg if there was another opportunity to get involved. And the 30-minute was really proving to be holding up really, really nicely, which is grinding along the 9S Meg this entire day today. So I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to make sure that I am maintaining watch on this, just Hawkeyes. So this push back up and tested 149. We got the double bottom here, pushed up, pulled back, and then got this higher low off of this doji, this dragonfly doji, and I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to get back involved. So I took 148 there. It pushed up, retested, broke, and tapped 149.5 twice, and then pulled back. So this 149.5 level right here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests could not break. So I wanted to make sure I was giving it, and I was on my hike when I bought it, so I bought it on my phone, and I put in a stop at 142 because I felt market makers, MMs were going to shake people out at 143, but at 142 I didn't think that they were going to push it back down to 142, especially because 143 was one, the break, the flush below VWAP, but it was also the flush below these two, this double bottom right here. So I thought that it would be just a quick shakeout, and then longs would reabsorb all of that selling pressure below 144, and that's exactly what happened. So my 142 stop stayed, it reabsorbed, pushed up, and then I started to add through this base. And I was buying small size because I did feel as though, I want to stay patient and make sure that I'm buying at the break of, I want more confirmation where this breaks 150, because 150 felt very, very heavy. But I didn't want to get caught where this got bought up to 152, 153, and I didn't have an opportunity to buy. So I thought to myself, all right, I'm just going to take small tranches and just scale in knowing that I am willing to risk below 143 now. So I took 500 shares here. I then took another 500 shares down here. And then I just started adding 500 shares on this dip. And then once it broke 150, slapped 2,000 shares. So now I'm back at 5,000 shares. Right? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. It held 148 on this pullback, and that was my trigger to say, okay, 148 is my stop loss, or 147 is my stop loss, because 148 was this left shoulder here, this day one high. So I thought to myself, all right, this has just been tracking along, just trying to this tug of war to figure out who's going to win, who's going to pull away with it. And it looks like longs have it. They've held it above VWAP. It's soaked off of VWAP every time it tested it. And it's now broke above it, and it's holding that level on this retest here. And once it broke through, I had 1,000 shares just sub high of day. And then it started to just climb. And I started to scale out. I held 2,500 shares, half of my position for that 164, that this high right here at 164, but it obviously didn't get there. I cut 1,500 shares here as the 9 and the 20 converged bearishly, and it broke below this 156 base. And I thought to myself, all right, I'm going to hold 1,000 shares for break even, which was 150. Once it broke below 150 to 149, I cut it, got filled at 149.5, and unfortunately that was bottom ticked. And man, this looks so rock solid into tomorrow. I have a feeling this is going to gap up, and I'm not going to be involved, and that's so frustrating. But either way, really, really rock solid day today. I am so happy with today's performance. I just sold some shares into the close, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm up, but it's over 1550 on the day. Really, really happy with today's performance. Looking to keep the momentum going tomorrow, but want to make sure that I am hyper focused again like I was today, and finding these opportunities that I've been looking for breakouts. Like I typically wouldn't have traded this the past month or two today. I would have waited until it broke this level, but I'm trying to adjust to get involved early where I avoid some of that chop, and I have the ability to get in at I have a better entry where I get the test off of the 9 SMA on the daily, that retest, after we got this hammer soak off of this trend line and a close above the 9 SMA. We get the retest of the 9 SMA, I'm buying through there, and then looking for the push higher. I wish I would have held more shares through, but unfortunately I just took my profits and ran, and it paid today. Hopefully tomorrow I get an opportunity to get re-involved. So again, really rock solid day today. Really happy with today's performance. Want to keep the momentum going tomorrow, and just need to stay patient and execute, and don't force trades, and size appropriately, because that has been what's been killing me, is not sizing per my risk, and the stop. So really looking forward to tomorrow, the rest of the week this week, and so that was today.